Greetings to all my loved ones. Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Conversation with yours truly, Empress Oracle. I'm glad you guys came back. Okay, so we're gonna have some real talk, y'all. Oh, I'm glad you asked. You wanna see my nails? I'm sorry. I had them all over your face. You like that? You like that? Okay. Now that we got that out the way, let's get back to business, right? So welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Conversation, y'all. Tonight, I think I want to answer the question. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me introduce her. This is Bahama Mama. She said, "Hey." But tonight I'm going to answer the question that I know a lot of people be wondering all over, because people be dropping hints, people say stuff, People assume things. So we're going to talk about why I'm single, because I know I get a lot of assumptions from people, and we're just going to put all of those to rest, all right? There's no need to assume when Empress will tell you the truth. Now, first and foremost, I am currently single because I want to be. That is my choice. Just due to the fact of all the spiritual warfare that's going on and the phase that I'm in my spiritual journey, right now is not the time to focus on building something with somebody else. It's all about self-love. You can never love yourself too much or enough. But these past few years, y'all, I've been going through some shit. I've been leveling up. I've been growing. I've been shedding my old skin. I've been transmuting negative energy. Confirmation, because I transmute that, okay? Transformer. I'm stop. But yeah, it's other things that I have to, put my energy and my focus into, including my family. I have better shit to do right now at this time than to be in a relationship. Period. That's just me personally. Some people, they just cannot be single. Some people just don't know how to fucking be single. Like, for real. Some people don't know how to be single. They just cannot be single. They just do not know how to survive. It's just like, it's just not right. Some signs I know tend to want to be in a relationship or yearn for, domestic relationships more than others. That is very true. Your Cancers, your Libras, your Tauruses and stuff. Those, more Venus-like, more feminine-like signs, they tend to always want to be, with somebody. But me, I'm a motherfucking Aries, y'all. If you didn't know. If you can tell. I'm an Aries. We are independent. And, some people are made to go through certain phases of life with somebody else. Because just like I always talk about, your soul contracts and what you come here to do, a lot of times, that's why people have soulmates and things. And you meet certain people during certain times in your life where you guys need each other, whether it's to learn a lesson, whether it's to, build an empire or whatever it is. And some things you have to do on your own. Everybody has different paths. And I don't feel because I am a certain age, because I'm, a certain age, a little bit older than what society says you should be married and settled. I don't think anything is wrong with me. I don't feel as though I'm behind the power curve or anything before. I've been there. I've done that. I've been married. Okay. I've been in relationships. I've been in long-term relationships. I've been in short-term relationships. I've been in flings, one-night stands. Shit. Have I been a throuple? I think so. Not really. But you know what I'm saying? I done had a boyfriend that had a girlfriend. I was okay with it. Shit. I was fine. He had 2 girlfriends. I did that once. But, I'm the type of person, I'm very open-minded. I'm willing to try anything, especially when it comes to love. But you just have to know when you just need your you time to work on you and focus on you and just love on yourself and heal. A lot of the times, I put out these stories about my past. And a lot of people, I think, assume that I'm single, or uninterested in being in a relationship because I've been through so much, traumas, stuff like that. That's not it. That shit, let me tell you something. One thing about me, I get over shit. I do not hold grudges. That is an Aries thing. We don't hold grudges. We get the fuck over it. I get over it because I know how to heal myself. But in my past, I dealt with a lot of things. Ooh, something don't want me to speak. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. But basically, I'm also single because I refuse to settle. And what I have realized is that the people around me, they find me intimidating because I am ambitious and I want more than the norm. I want more than just to be, a baby mama. I want more than just to be a girlfriend. I want to be a wife, a partner, a best friend, all in one with the correct person for me, so that once I get with that person, we can grow together. I've been in a lot of good relationships, I've been in some good relationships with some great guys. I have had a few, just a handful of really, really good boyfriends who, they were really good guys, and they were going to make excellent husbands whenever they find the one for them. And when I was in the relationship with those guys, I loved them to death. I did. I loved them with all my heart. But I knew that they were not the one for me. I knew that. You see, you're getting all this confirmation. I just knew they weren't the one. And it wasn't because anything was wrong with them. They just weren't for me. Yes, we were compatible. Yes, we had amazing sex. Yes, we could laugh and we could talk as friends. But when I would sit and I would think about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do in the long term, when I would talk to them, they would verbally express the same passions, visions, goals, and desires. But the proof is always in the pudding. That's how I feel. Actions always speak louder than words. I don't care. You can tell me whatever the fuck you want to. What you do is really going to show me what you really mean. And in the relationships that I was in with those great guys, they would say that they had the dreams and the ambitions and the goals, but their actions would always say otherwise. They'd be like, yeah, I want to be a businessman or X, Y, Z, but really they just in the streets. They're just telling me stuff, right? And then they think they can just come and just pipe you down and just, you forget about it for a few weeks. No, not at all. Because I feel as though people need to look at relationships like stocks and bonds. And I don't even know that much about stocks and bonds, but I do know that the longer that you let your stock or your bond mature, the higher potential you have for a large investment. And the only way that you're going to get a full return on your investment is if you actively tend to it, right? If you put into it. If you know that you put something into this stock or whatever, and you see that it's not, accruing funds, you're going to want to withdraw it and put it somewhere else, right? If you see something's not working for you, you're going to try something else. A lot of my past relationships, the guys that I was with, they were comfortable. And I didn't like that because they were comfortable in their situations. They were comfortable where they were. And yet they hadn't really accomplished anything with themselves. They hadn't done anything. They were still struggling. They were comfortable with living from check to check. They were comfortable with having to hustle instead of using their brains and their God-given talents to be successful. I've dated some really, really smart guys. Really smart. And if they just applied, instead of trying to be goddamn criminals or mischievous or slick or players or whatever, if they just put that energy into their goals and their dreams that they told me about, they would be further, right? But they didn't want to do that. And the fact that I would always, talk about my dreams and my goals, but then actively pursue it, I feel as though that intimidated 99.999% of my exes. Majority of them also told me that it was intimidating. And unfortunately, I think not all my exes, but all the major exes that I've had in my life have always told me, they've always tried to lock me down. They've always tried to keep me, but not in a good way, because most women want to be locked down and everything. But it's one thing if somebody wants to keep you and they show you, that they know your value and that's why they want to keep you. I would never get that. That's not what it would be. It would be they would want to keep me because they would see my value and they don't want me to see it. They don't want the world to see it because then they would feel as though I would get a better offer from somebody else who would be willing to do the things that they said that they wanted to do or were willing to do, but were not actively doing. Not just in the relationship, but as a whole, as a human as a whole, as a person as a whole. A lot of people don't want to put in that work. It's easier, a lot of times, it's more comfortable for people to be in those relationships that are toxic because people like drama. People like drama when you're the type of person who's drama free, who you just be chilling, you like to just chill and kick it. A lot of people are not used to that, especially if they didn't grow up in that environment, if they didn't grow up seeing peace in their household and their families. That shit affects relationships. I'm such a chill, peaceful person, especially in relationships, that a lot of times the guys I would get with, it's like they get in a relationship and they be like, damn, this is good, this is nice. And literally they would feel as though it was too good to be true. So they would self-sabotage our relationships. Now, I personally am not that type of person. I will conquer my fears, okay? Because I know that fear is an illusion. I've always known that fear is an illusion. And I've always known that the things that you tend to be the most afraid of have the potential to be the best blessings for you, right? So they would let the fear take over, the fear of them having to do right, the fear of them having to actually go after their dreams, the fear of what if I don't make it and stuff. And instead, they would choose to stay in toxic environments where less is expected of them. And they would try to bring that to me and to get me used to that toxicity so that I wouldn't want more, or I wouldn't think that I deserve more, or be able to achieve more. But I truly know myself and I'm not having that shit. So once I see, once your representative, you see what I'm saying? Because I firmly believe that the first 90 days of a relationship, people show you their representative, right? After the first 3 months, that's when the real them starts coming out. So once their representative leaves or whatever, and it's me and them, and shit gets real, it's too much because they see that I'm a woman of my word. I actually speak about my dreams, but then they see me actively pursuing them and stuff. And they're like, oh shit, I got to do it too? I thought she was just talking, you know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. No, my G. No, my G. Because I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I'm not there yet. Everybody has their own perception of when they feel like they've made it or when they're where they want to be. And I have not made it there yet. So why would I be comfortable? Why would I want to put my energy into being toxic and arguing and checking after you and all this other bullshit instead of chasing my dreams? Make that make sense. And then what I also realized is a lot of times guys feel as though they can keep you with sex. And a lot of times it does work. I'm just saying, I'm talking about y'all. Listen, excuse my French, but I have been blessed enough to have had some good dick in my lifetime. Sex is not going to keep me. I have still walked away because, at the end of the day, no matter how much I love you, no matter how much I love the sex, I love myself more. And if you're not giving me what I feel is my worth, even if I am not aware of my full value at that time. I still know I'm valuable. I might not know what the price is on the ticket, but I know that shit expensive. And if I don't feel like you're giving that to me, I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now. Period. Whether we have a house, a child, or dog together, that's not gonna keep me. That's not gonna keep me. And unfortunately, certain people attract certain types of people. It just is what it is. You know, it's like your pheromones magnetically attract certain people who have a nose for a certain scent. So a lot of times when you are a strong woman, but you're also nurturing, you're also an empath and sweet, you domesticated everything else, a guy will see you, he will know, like, damn, I should really step up and be the partner that she needs to be. But instead of doing that, because they're going to be like, nah, that's too much work. They'll try to trap you. They'll try to hold you down. They'll try to put you on house arrest, have you locked down, so that you don't go out there and see other guys giving their women the world. Not just telling them they're going to give them the world, but actually giving them the world. They don't want you to see that. So they try to lock you down. Who do that? Who do that? Not me. This just never sat right with me. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't sit right in my spirit. You know? And whenever I would say in my relationships, you're like, hey, you know, we got to work on some things. You know, that's when guys will try to trap you with sex or with a baby or, you know, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not trying to be like the old woman in the shoe with so many kids I don't know what to do. Because I have goals and ambitions and dreams. I have plans. I have children, yes. But I also have dreams and goals. And a lot of females, once they become mothers and stuff, in a relationship, they be like, oh, okay, well, let me settle down for a bit. I just want to be with my family and stuff. And that's okay. That's normal. But I'm the type, I'm Jamaican, so I can multitask. So I know I can do both. I grew up seeing my mom have a household and a business. So I know it's possible, right? And also, too, I moved to the South. And, you know, originally I'm from New York. It's nothing against the South or whatever. I'm here, right? But I find that happens more in the South from what I've seen, from my personal experience, dating and stuff. You know, and a lot of times also what would happen is my counterparts would become jealous of me. And females, y'all got to watch out for that. Men, y'all got to watch out for that too. Watch out for your counterparts being jealous of you. They're not going to tell you they're jealous of you. They're not going to tell you. But if you pay attention and you listen to the words that come out their mouth, if you're able to read between the lines, right? And if you watch the things that they do, you'll see that. You'll see that. Especially if you're the type of person that when you get up, you know what I'm saying, you always trying to figure out something to do. You trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get it. You letting your creative juices flow. You're doing you and stuff. If you're with somebody who is not as ambitious as you, and they'd rather just chill, hang around, shoot the shit or whatever. Yeah, they go to work or whatever. If they have a job, depending what type of nigga you like. If they got a job, they're going to go to work or whatever, but they're just going to do the bare minimums to get by. They're not pursuing their passions and their dreams that they talk to you about. They're doing something for somebody else. They're working for the man, but they're not pursuing what they want to do. Because everybody comes here with a goal, right? Most people's goal is not to work for somebody else or not to sit behind a desk or something all fucking day. You know what I mean? They're not pursuing any of that. And then when they see you doing that, they feel away. And then they try to distract you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might be home chilling and you trying to work on your business plan, or you trying to work on, say you do hair on the side, you trying to figure out a new hairstyle or something you trying to do. and they see you and they just sitting there bullshitting. They could be sitting there trying to figure out some shit they want to do too. But instead they just sitting there bullshitting and they see you doing that. And then they want to come fuck with you and distract you. Hey, let's have sex. You know what I'm saying? Be all up on you. Not right now. You see I'm busy. Any other time. If you just walking around the house not doing shit, they good. But when it's time for you to invest in yourself, they want to come distract you or start an argument or I'm hungry, can you cook me anything to stop you? Watch that. That's signs of jealousy. That's signs of jealousy. If they always interrupt you when you're trying to do something, it's a problem. It's a problem. You got to pay attention to that. And little comments that they say, because I would experience that as well too. You know, your significant other, I don't give a fuck if you be like, if you be like, for 2022, I want to become a unicorn and I want to perform at the circus and jump through a ring of fire. Yo, your nigga should be like, word, that sound good. Yes, baby. So how you plan on doing that? You gonna get a costume? What you gonna do? Like, he should take your dreams seriously and be trying to help you, like, yeah, and promoting you and stuff. He shouldn't be like, man, that shit sound dumb. A unicorn, man, don't nobody like fucking unicorns and shit. Man, fire, you gonna get caught on fire. Little hating ass remarks. That's how you could tell that they're jealous of you. And I would end up with guys being like that eventually. You know, saying little slick shit or whatever because I'm telling you these dreams that I'm going to go after. You know? That's not good, because then what threshold for growth do you guys actually have together? Because if you settle down with this person, you're going to be with them forever, right? In a relationship or marriage, you're supposed to want to grow and build the foundation. Can you really do that with somebody who always shoots down your dreams? How far do you think you're going to grow? Their ceiling for growth and your ceiling for growth might be two different ceilings. Their ceiling might be 6 feet and your ceiling is 22 feet. You know what I'm saying? You got vaulted ceilings and shit. With skylights. I'm just saying. I would deal with stuff like that. And I don't have time for that. But then what I started realizing is that a lot of it has to do also with where you are. I'm in Atlanta, you know, so you already know what that's like. I feel like that's all I gotta say. If you know, you know. So the people, the type of men that are here that I come across, the good ones already have something going on, whether they admit it or not, 9 times out of 10. And the rest of them are gay. You know, even if they down low, because, you know, we got the homo thugs in Atlanta. That's what they used to call them back in the day. They used to call them homo thugs. I used to hear all my boys and everybody used to use that terminology. So that's what I'll say. I'm not saying it as a slight or any offense. That's just the verbiage, the vernacular they used back in the day for that. But the down low men who want to act hard in public and portray themselves as quote unquote thugs, but really they chasing sweet booty meat at nighttime. Those guys. Just saying. And I'd rather not. It's not, in this day and age, there's too many diseases and stuff going on to be just sharing yourself. And then especially when you're a spiritual person and you realize the treasures and the sacredness of your body. I don't want to give everybody access to my portal. Okay? Because this pussy got healing powers. Period. And if you spiritual, you know this. You have to be careful who you give your energy to. Because in relationships, that's an exchange of energy, especially when you having sex. When you having sex with somebody, you're being intimate. You're sharing your most private place, your most sacred spot. That's a spot that you can't just wear out, bare in public. That's your most sacred spot. It's precious. That means a lot. And if you truly value yourself, you're going to want to put the best in so you get the best out. You feel me? Period. Period. I'm not trying to manifest more toxicity in a relationship. I'm trying to grow and heal, because healing is a lifelong process. There's always something you have to heal from. And I'm trying to help others learn how to do that, right? And you have to preserve yourself until you attract the things that you truly want, because then that makes you a person that is worth their salt, should I say, right? So it's about what you want. And at this time, because there's no mistakes, there's no coincidences in life. We all know that. Everything happens for a reason. And at this time in my life, it's just not the time. I'm not in the right geographical location. I'm not around the type of people to have a counterpart that I can grow with at the pace I want to grow and how I want to grow. Because you might get with somebody and you want to grow this way and they want to grow that way, right? Because y'all have two different visions, two different dreams. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what's for me. An equally yoked marriage is two people on the same accord, growing in the same direction at the same pace. They become one, and they are in perfect synastry, right? And they pour into each other appropriately. What one lacks, the other one has, and they pour into each other. Let's just say it's a jar. One pour this, the other pour that, until they fill it up perfectly in harmony, and it makes a beautiful pattern, a flow. That's what I deserve. That's what everybody deserves. And until then, until you find that person, you should be content with yourself, because it'll come to you if you know your worth. It will. When it's supposed to. Not when you want it to, but it will. And that's what I feel, and that's what I believe. And that's why I'm single. What y'all think? What y'all think? How y'all feel about that? Just saying. And I'm happy too. I'm content. Loving myself, learning, growing, and glowing. As I should. But I will marry again one day, if that's what I'm supposed to do. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go. I know I chattered on for a while, but you know, the conversation was good. Don't you think? I love you all. Be blessed. Check out my Etsy shop, Empress Oracle Shop. Have a good night.